Hi guys, I'm Rick. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making beefy onion soup. Alright, I'm starting out here in my 5-quart Dutch oven. I have that warming up, and I'm going to put a stick of margarine here. You can also use butter, but anyone who knows me knows I always have margarine on hand. And this is froze still. Where you at? So I'm going to melt this down. And the margarine is going to serve two purposes. It's going to help me caramelize these onions here, because they need to be caramelized down for this soup. And it's going to enrich the soup, because without the margarine in there or butter, the soup would be dull. So I'm going to melt this butter down, and I'm going to take these 5 large onions here that I sliced up. I'm going to fry these over medium-low heat so they caramelize down to practically nothing. And when I get to that point, then I'll be back. Okay, now that my onions have cooked down and they caramelized, I'm going to pull these out of here so I can fry my beef in here. And when I do that, I'll bring it back. Right now I have my onions out. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in this pan, just enough to fry this beef. And I have roughly about 3 pounds of thin sliced beef. And if you can't get that, beef cubes will work just fine. I'm going to fry these till they're brown. And I'm going to hit this with a little bit of salt and some pepper. Not a lot of salt, because the beef broth is going to have some salt in it. And I will season this as we go. I'm going to get a little bit of pepper in there. And just a little shot of salt. And all that onion goodness on the bottom of that pan is going to pull up as I fry this beef. It's going to make this soup just even more richer and delicious. Right now my beef is browned and rendered off some juice, but I'm just going to let that in there, so it's going to add more flavor. I'm going to add my onions back in there. And I have this up on high heat, that's fine for now. Now I'm going to add in 8 cups of beef broth. And a little tip, if you didn't see this before, cut a little hole in there. That way the air will circulate and this will just pour nice and even out of here for it won't chug. So these are 4 cups each. I'm going to dump 2 boxes of these in here. You could also use water and beef bouillon cubes if you like. And I do that a lot, just I like to do it this way today. And I was prepared to add some water in here if need be, but I'm not going to need any water. Now I'm going to add in some beefy onion soup mix. And if you can't get this, regular onion soup mix will work. I'm adding in 1 pack. Now what I'm going to do is bring this up to temperature, and then I'm going to start tasting it for salt. Okay, now it's starting to warm up. I'm going to season it. I tasted it. It needs a little more salt. So I'm going to try about a heaping teaspoon worth. Funny thing about this video is when I was slicing up my onions, I was talking to my friend Melissa on the phone from Melissa's Country Kitchen. She was laughing at me because my eyes were watering and my nose was running from the onions. And if you haven't checked out her channel, take a swing by over there and check her out. She's got a lot of good recipes, and I learned today on her channel how to separate a whole chicken and save a lot of money. I'll put a link at the bottom of in the description bar. Okay, that's tasting good on salt. I'm going to put a little more pepper in here. And I went ahead and I skimmed off a little bit of that butter and olive oil off the top there. And I got rid of it so it's not so greasy. That's tasting good. Now I'm going to add a little bit of thyme in this, because thyme complements beef really well. I'm going to add a hair more in there. Now, Melissa, you would be proud. I'm going to add in some garlic powder. Just a little bit. I'm not as heavy-handed as she is with that. Give this a taste. Just a little more. All right. That's tasting good. I might just put a shot more of salt and pepper in there, just a shot. And I'm going to turn my heat down on low and let this simmer for a few minutes to cook everything together, and then this will be ready. Alright, my soup is done. I left it simmer for about 15 minutes. And if you have more time, the longer you let it cook, the more it will concentrate down and get richer flavor. Now I'm going to finish this off by adding some parsley in here, about a teaspoon. So let's go ahead and serve this up and see what we got. Alright, there you have it, beefy onion soup. Give this a try. I think you'll like it. Until next time, I'll see ya.